you're down in these depths. How do you get out of it? And for Kyle, I guess it was more along the lines, I've got to do something. And the way I deal sometimes with my emotions and my stress is to just go out and go for a bike ride, go for a run, go for a swim. Looks like we are live, everyone. What's up, Ironman and beyond? Busy high achievers all over the world. It's Coach Shangrila, and we have Vinetta here. We also have Melissa from the Key West, Florida. So she's 3 hours ahead of time from Pacific Standard Time in California. We are so excited for tonight's training because I know this is something very important to a lot of athletes, especially with a lot of things going on. And mainly because what we're going to be talking about is about regaining health. So Melissa is live with us tonight, and we're going to talk about, let me pull up the poster that
you've been seeing in the group.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Vinetta, for creating this. What a beautiful poster with Melissa.
So everybody loves the pizza.
Yes. Oh yeah, the pizza.
That was easy. That was the easy thing to do.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about that. So what we're going to talk about today is from overwhelm to regaining control of your weight. Losing 15 pounds in 4 weeks without depriving yourself of foods you love. This is just one of them. There's a pizza there, and I'll tell you more story about that. But during this training, besides that, we're going to talk about how Melissa did it, what she did in the past 4 weeks. We're going to talk about also building good, sustainable eating habits instead of focusing on limiting, dieting, and eliminating, because there's so many out there. And of course, there's also okay, I want to lose weight, but then we got to make sure that we balance, making sure that you have enough nutrition for your training or your race coming up, right? So we're going to talk about that, how to regain your health back, especially when you are hopefully, it's not so bad, but if you are having some struggles in your life, COVID, you're still trying to get yourself back up, or maybe you've just been so busy at work, overwhelmed, and you're just starting the year, or if you've lost your loved ones, how can you still move on? How can you overcome this? How can you still be happy? So those are the things that we're going to talk about. Also renewing the love for sports. And you'll know that Melissa, back in the day, she was doing a lot of triathlons before, but then things got busy. So now how can you, if you're one of those, I just want to get myself back the way I was then.
Let me just say hi to a couple of people. We're getting a lot of people joining us.
Hello.
Hi, Ruth. Hey, James.
All right.
Hi, JV. Gloria from Texas, El Paso.
Got Michael
she
there.
Says hi.
JV, hello, Kyle. So there you go. Well, hello. So we're going to talk about also, Melissa has the love for food. She actually met her husband in culinary, and she has some side business besides of her 2 jobs and winery. So what if you love food? What if you're into culinary? I love cooking. How can you balance that out? Okay. How about if you're feeling conscious about yourself? Self-conscious about yourself. How can you establish a consistent, solid training plan or nutrition plan that's easy to follow? How about if you're lacking of motivation? It's been really tough for a lot of people, and I know it because a lot of athletes are actually knocking on our doors. Vinette and I here in Ironman and beyond, a lot of people are actually scheduling those 15 minutes game plan call where a coach, it's just so hard to get myself motivated. Or sometimes even some of my friends would say, you've been doing this one for so many years. Where does your drive come from? So is there anyone here? Let's check out. Is there anyone here who is having a hard time with motivation? Raise your hand.
Yeah, let's see it.
I still do.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, I do too. So if you're not losing motivation at times, kudos to you. I want to learn more. How can you consistently, there's sometimes like life is not perfect. Sometimes it's just too much. And sometimes it may be just because you need rest, like, for example, for me, sometimes I feel like I'm not motivated, but guess what? I'll realize, well, you know what? You have not been getting a lot of sleep. There's those balance. And sometimes we blame ourselves like it's motivation, but not really. There's a lot more digging into it of what's really going on.
Also, when goals disappear, like the races disappear.
Yep.
That was tough for people. That was horrible.
Like, do you really need a race right now? What if, some of you guys may be like, you're not sure if the race is going to cancel, so you don't want to, commit to it first, right? And then at the same time, well, you want to commit, but what if you're not ready yet? It's like, you're like in the middle, commit or not commit, but what if I'm not ready, but I want something to look forward to? Like, what can you do? Yeah. Are you guys getting something here? All right, we have also Ruth, welcome. Pauline, welcome. Hello. So, well, without further ado, let's introduce Melissa from Key West, Florida.
Yay.
Yellow.
Hello. Well, thank you.
Melissa, actually, I just met her about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And, she is actually just one of you guys here in Ironman Beyond. And we have Kyle listening here. And, Melissa told me that, she was moved by Kyle. So Kyle, are you there, Kyle? And so I mentioned to Kyle about Melissa. And let me just show you. If you guys missed this one, Triathlon saved my life. This is Kyle from PTSD and deep depression after losing my daughter to feeling excited about life again. And in fact, Kyle is also different. Kyle is someone who has not even done anything, like no swim, like swimming wise, running, has not run for like, I think he said 20 years, So Melissa was in, like listening to Kyle's story, and she was moved. Like, if Kyle can do it, like I have to do that too. Is that right? Is that what? Maybe I'm just saying that. Tell me what you felt when you were watching Kyle.
It was very moving and motivating for me, especially given the last, year and a half with COVID, and I lost my dad and my sister-in-law 6 weeks apart, unexpectedly in June and July of 2021, and
that's devastating.
It's taken me. It's still hard to talk about at times. A little bit of background is my dad had come to stay with us here in the Keys, and he had what my husband would call a sentinel event, very major medical emergency, and we life flighted him out of the Keys to Miami. He made a recovery such that we could take him home to Delaware to be closer to my siblings, and then put him in an assisted living place in New Jersey, all 30 minutes from my siblings' places. And then one day in June, driving to work, and my sister's telling me about, you need to pull over, you need to pull over, you need to pull over. I'm like, yeah, I'm pulled over. And she's like, no, you need to pull over. And I'm like, oh, I'm pulled over. And then she goes, dad's dead.
Oh my God.
So obviously, all I could do was drive to work and bawl my eyes out.
Yeah.
So Kyle's story was, for me, he struggled with getting over his daughter's death. I'm still struggling with my dad's to a certain extent. And then about 6 weeks later, after my dad died, and a month after we buried my father, I get another phone call from my sister. And as she's kind of jokingly said, she's the angel of death phone call these days. It was two very close back to back.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law had been bike riding in their beach town of New Jersey and got hit by a car and didn't make it.
Yeah.
So, again, a month later, I'm going home to bury yet another close family member. And so listening to Kyle going, okay, you're down in these depths. How do you get out of it? And for me, and for Kyle, I guess it was more along the lines, I've got to do something. Yeah. And the way I deal sometimes with my emotions and my stress is to just go out and go for a bike ride, go for a run, go for a swim. Yeah. And I had started making a commitment to myself to get back into what I called my triathlon training.
Sure.
But I didn't have any structure until Coach 5 weeks ago. She's got me on a very good schedule now, and didn't really follow a good routine. And you go, oh, gee, I don't know why I'm not losing weight as you're lifting the glass of wine, you know, a couple nights a week. Honey, I just don't understand. Why am I not losing the weight? You know, I'm exercising and we're eating better.
You're getting mobility.
Why am I not losing the weight? And I'm sure everybody on here can somewhat relate to that to a certain extent. And you're going, oh yeah, I need to put this down. I need to put this glass of wine down. Well, I'll do that next week. Yep. I'll do it next week. And so that's, and then I've always wanted to be an Ironman.
Yeah.
And I told you that. And
yeah.
So a little bit about that was when I hit 30, I said to my family, I'm going to do a triathlon. I'm going to do a triathlon. I'm going to do a triathlon before I turn 40. Excuse me. I did my first triathlon at 38.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. It was just a little rinky-dink sprint one.
Good. You still did it.
But I did it.
Yeah.
And so then I wanted to do another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to do another one. And so it's like, okay, well, I did the sprint. I can handle a longer sprint now. No proper training. I can handle a longer sprint. Nope. Couldn't finish the longer sprint. Went back to the drawing board. It's okay. You know, my daughter was there and she was like, Mom, you're fine. I'm impressed. I said, okay. Went back to Delaware, started my triathlon training again. And completed a series of smaller sprints.
Mm-hmm.
Then I trained for an Olympic distance. I did the DC triathlon, I think in 2009 or 2010. Decided I was never doing it again because apparently there are bull sharks in the Potomac River. Don't ever swim in the Potomac River because apparently they are fresh and or saltwater sharks. I didn't know that until I read an article the following year.
I read it. That was there
about this giant bull shark that they pulled out of the Potomac.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yay. Never doing that one again.
You finished the Olympic then?
I did. I finished.
Okay, good.
So that was my longest one completed.
That was
and I had set a goal for 4 hours, under 4 hours, and I did it in 4.5.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
First one. So then I decided, oh, you can do the Olympic. Next year, you're doing the half Ironman. You're going to Providence, Rhode Island, where you met your husband in culinary school. But you forget that Providence, Rhode Island is hilly.
Hills, yeah.
And so with that being said, I, again, set out a goal. I had a little bit of help with some training because I was working at the local Y at the time. And I had a bunch of trainers helping me. And excuse me, didn't properly fuel. So here, if y'all need a tip about what not to take on an Ironman course, half Ironman, full Ironman, write this down. No payday bars. No Gatorade fruit punch mixture. Does not compute, does not sit well on the stomach. You will not finish. Do not take payday bars and do not take fruit punch Gatorade. Bad combination. And if somebody passes you, I learned this the hard way. somebody passed me on a hill, and you know, the hill's going like this. So the person literally just passed me, hadn't gotten far enough ahead of me, but I'm drafting.
Okay.
So I get the penalty. Not the person that just passed me, but I get the penalty. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So nope, they weren't kidding. So I had to pull into the next tent and sit 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow.
Yep. The final hill on the bike route. If y'all have been to Providence, I don't know who has, who hasn't. Behind the Capitol building, hill goes like literally like this, straight uphill, just straight uphill, just like this. So you're starting way down here, and I think about midpoint, okay. I'm going, I'm not getting off. I'm not getting off. I'm not getting off. And I had to get off and drop and walk to the top of the hill. Once I got to the top of the hill, got back on my bike, coasted into second transition. Gotcha. And then I walked the half marathon. And because I could not run, because I had nothing left in the tank, I timed out on the second loop of my run.
So that was 12 years ago.
About that, yep. So fast forward to 2020, the year of COVID. Yes, COVID, love COVID. Just kidding. I think we were one of the only triathlon races or left live sport races in March that year that was allowed to participate, because it was a very small sprint triathlon at the local community college here in Key West. Mm-hmm. And we had, I think, maybe 40 people participate, maybe, if you're lucky. Yeah. And so we finished, I did that, and then races obviously were canceled. I did a 5K.
So that was 2020.
Yeah.
So with the COVID, so you were trying to get back.
I was trying. Yep.
It took you a long time, and then suddenly your loved one passed away, and that was very, very tough for you. And you still tried, though. You were still trying, and you actually get back to it. First sprint ever. Since about 12 years ago, right? You were like trying. Is there anyone here who's like also trying, even though it's taking them a long time? But hey, you know, it's the effort. It's that dream, never giving up. She's still trying. She did that December, right? Sprint.
Yeah, I did. Yep, I did a sprint triathlon this past December. Good. And I think I finished it in the same amount of time that I did in March of 2020.
Yeah.
I had wanted to like, you know, get a little bit shorter time, but you know, you're doing this the entire time you're training. And you know, you can't figure out why you're not losing the weight. And so then it was like, my husband took another travel assignment for nursing in early December, and it was like, okay, he's not going to be around.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus on me for a change. And I need to just start getting healthy.
And then Kyle showed up.
Yeah.
And Kyle showed up. Hey, Kyle, you're still there? It's all about you. Because of you.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Kyle's going to Florida. You take a break, Melissa, and have a drink. The water that you have there.
Yeah, I do have. I'm sorry. No,
get it.
My house is still smoking. Sorry.
Yeah, to get it cleared up. But then, you know, that's what's great about in our community here in Ironman and beyond. Like, for example, Kyle's actually going to Florida for a sprint in a couple weeks. So, Intimidator. So
okay.
Yeah,
that one.
Right there. But anyways,
so you were going back. You were going back. You were getting there. You were focusing on your health, and then what made you decide to get coaching?
I decided that I have never had a triathlon coach ever. I've just sort of, I even have, I think, the how to properly train for 70.3 from Ironman.com or the 140.6 training plans. And you're looking at these going, well, this is Greek. And this is really Greek. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And so now if I go, well, this is Greek, coach, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I can call or text coach or, Facebook messenger her and go, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? And then she tells me exactly what I'm supposed to do. Like tonight in the middle of my workout, I'm like, okay, is this what I think it is? And you're going, yes, this is what you think it is. The reverse bicycle exercise. I just wanted to make sure I was right. And, but yeah, I decided that I'd never had triathlon coaching. And I really wanted to get back into triathlon a little bit more intensely. And so, yeah, I just signed up and I said to my husband, this is what I want to do. And this is why I want to do it. And he went, okay. So he's still not 100% on board.
Yeah.
So we're still working on it.
How is that? How does that feel? Before the coaching, you were feeling, how are you feeling about yourself before?
I'm feeling 100% better about myself. And I'll tell you why. I actually had a doctor's appointment yesterday and they took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure has always been on the low side. And over the last couple of years, it gotten up to like 120 to 130 over something, which still, according to my husband, is not bad. I'm like, but that's not me. I'm like, that's too high for me. So yesterday I was back to 104 over 78. Wow. So that's me. I like the lower number. So yeah. And that's as of yesterday. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. So that's part of that 15 pounds. And I guess the other important thing that like I told you and Vanetta before we all got on, was that, I'm not coming home now at the end of the day going, where's my glass of wine? Where's my glass of wine? It's, what is coach having me do? And, what do I need to do now in order to achieve my goal? And again, if I don't understand something that you've put in there, I'll text you. I'm pretty good about that.
I mean, the way you say it, it's like, it's easy said than done. I mean, what did you do? Because there are other athletes, or other individuals who I know, like, for example, even just get rid of the always drinking soda, or like always eating some snack, like, constantly, and not having the control. They feel like they're losing control. They want to lose weight, but it's getting out of control. But for you, I mean, you have your wine gig, your wine business. You have two jobs. You have two jobs. It can be stressful. Your husband is somewhere. You're alone, right? Yep. You can do anything, right? You have a choice.
I do,
right?
And I can choose to continue to be unhealthy, or I can choose to get healthier. And I'm trying to get my husband to play along because he's coming home this weekend for 2 weeks. And so what I've said to him is, look, this is where I'm at. I need you to not greet me every night with a glass of wine. Ask me, what does coach have lined up for you today? Do we need to go exercise? He's not really cooking a lot for himself right now because he's, rented a room in a house in Boston. So he just usually stops and picks up a sandwich or a piece of or a pizza. And then he eats his other meals at the hospital. Mm-hmm. And so he's lost some weight. He looks pretty good. I saw him a month ago. He's lost some weight, but he hasn't exercised. So I'm like, if you could ride a bike while I jog, or if we could go ride bikes together, that would help me. Or let's go for a kayak ride, or let's go snorkeling one day while you're home. Let's do something active rather than just, not doing anything. And so he's okay with that request. So.
Yeah. Were you like this before? Like the way you're talking to your husband right now, like suggesting things and it's
yes, but I'm so tired because he was working night shift.
Sure.
And now he's working day shift for his travel assignment job. And when you work 7P to 7A as a nurse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. While you drink, hey, everyone, are you guys getting a lot from this? We're actually getting into like because we're getting into like, what if your partner, your husband, your wife is not fully in it, like, hey, you want the Ironman or like you want to achieve this one, but in the past you have not really shown that you really want it, because for her it's taking her like 12 years and then just getting back, so they're not fully on board. I'm really curious of how she's communicating, and was it different? What was the shift on it?
For me, it was more about, I've wanted this a long time. And I need you to support me in this. And, if I say to you, I need you to make a meal, even though you don't feel like it, I need you to make a meal, and, I'll be gross. I'm sorry. This is like the remnants of my salad that I made tonight. It's spinach.
Oh, look at that salad.
It's spinach with spicy pecans, asparagus, mangoes, blueberries, raspberries, and blue cheese crumbles.
Yeah.
And it took all of 20 minutes to throw that together, from start to finish, because you had to toast the pecans and everything like that. And
fancy.
I know.
Hard boil the eggs and all that. But, and I did throw some bread in the oven for a little bit of, carbs. But I ate 1 1/4 of the 2 pieces of bread that I cut for myself tonight. In the past, my husband and I, we would have devoured that entire, it's not very big. It's about yay big, but 2 people shouldn't be devouring a small loaf of bread in one sitting. And that's what we're doing. So for me, it's more about making the adjustments to my lifestyle and my eating habits and trying to say it. And we've talked ad nauseum about becoming a pescatarian, becoming a vegetarian, becoming like, the people that only eat chicken and fish and vegetables and pastas and things of that nature. And, I'm 30. I'm gonna do a triathlon. I'm 53. I'm a gonna. Well, I am tired of the I'm a gonnas. And it's when and it's when you get tired of the I'm a gonnas, that's when you make the change.
We have to change the title. I'm a gonna. With Ken Waters was like, why not? I'm a gonna,
I'm a gonna. I mean, and I can hear myself saying it again. I'm a gonna do this. I'm a gonna do that. And
so you basically got tired of that. I'm a gonna.
I'm a gonna
just do it. And looks like you're communicating really well. And besides, everyone, what she has done also, and I just want to, that's why I'm so proud of her, because one of the things that she has done is that she communicated to me ahead of time. Hey, coach, you know what? Bunch of my friends are coming over, bunch of my friends are coming over here in Key West, and they will be here. And one of the great things that she has been able to practice is, again, setting boundaries. And there was a time when she's like, coach, how about just give us a little bit of what happened, or like, how did you communicate? What was happening with your friends? What did they want to do? What is it that you feel like it could get you off track? And how did you communicate that? Because I think that would be very helpful with the rest.
Well, so with the friends and all of that, I've done a lot of Weight Watchers meetings. I've done a lot of, I'm a show of hands, everybody, who's done a Weight Watchers meeting. They give you the tips and the tools for, take your own bottle of water, take your own seltzer, take your own meal, take your own snack, eat something ahead of time, pee before you get on the damn scales. it loses 2.2 pounds every time you pee before you get on the scales. I kid you not, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And for the guys on the call, I apologize. But what I've said to them is, look, I'm in training. I'll have a drink. I might have two, but I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to go beer for beer, wine glass for wine glass, or something along those lines with you. I'm just going to have a drink, or the picture that I sent you with the key lime martini from the square grouper. I went out to dinner by myself. I didn't feel like cooking. Sat at the bar. They're like, what do you want to drink? I'm like, I'll take the key lime martini. It's pretty good. It's $13. You go to the Square Grouper in Cudjoe Key. It's one of the best places to eat in the Keys. Highly recommend it. Lunch is a little bit cheaper. I went for dinner. Okay. But the key lime martini is $13 whether you go for lunch or dinner. But it's one of their signature drinks. It's very good. I had one. Because a $13 key lime martini, I'm not drinking too many of those. So they're like, do you want anything else? I'm like, yeah, I'll have some water now. And it was like, I took a sip of my key lime martini. I took a sip of water. I took a sip of my key lime martini. I took a sip of water. And I had to do it that way. And she's like, do you want anything else? I'm like, nope. The key lime martini was my dessert. So I used it as both my alcoholic beverage and my dessert that night.
Gotcha.
Because it was very sweet. And I had 2 glasses of water, and I ate, my fish sandwich and my French fries because I was hungry. Yeah. And it was a really good fish sandwich and French fries.
I'm telling you, she did not. And what she's sharing to you, she's still continuing to enjoy, but it's that what I'm seeing here is that you are more intentional. Yep. And there's more of the process of thinking and making the choice. Yes. Of what you're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what has changed?
That's pretty much it. I can sit here and drink an entire glass or an entire bottle of wine in one night if I want to. Is it going to help me with my triathlon goals? No, it really isn't. Can I have a glass of wine or two every night or every other night or every couple of nights? Yes, I can. And it is that thought that keeps me going. It was, okay, I don't need an entire glass of wine. I don't need an entire bottle of wine. I can stop at 1 or 2. I've done it. Okay, you know what? This sounds really good tonight. I'm going to have 1 glass of wine, and most of mine are twist offs now, so I can just unscrew it, screw it back up, put it in my big fridge, and put it away. And then I'm done with it. It's when I leave the bottle of the wine out on the counter, that's when that's where I run into my problem, is if I don't put the bottle of wine away after I've poured my 1 glass, then, I have wine.
You basically develop a routine then.
I do.
Yeah, more of what works for you. Right. So I think for everyone who's listening, it's more of find what works for you. And then let me tell you, if you're just catching up right now, okay, with the live, by the way, if you're here for live, #live, or if you're listening replay, #replay, would love to know who's coming on live. She was just saying before, she was she doesn't get tired of doing this. And she tells her husband, I really want to lose weight. Okay. But then now she is sharing to you of what she has done. We're in, like I said, what I showed you here, these are just some of the images of foods that she would send to me by message. She would Coach, this one just came out from the oven because the pizza,
that was a fun one to make.
Yeah. I mean, you've been you've been giving me imagery. So, she's actually influencing me, like making me salivate on this one. But like,
yeah,
to me,
well,
I don't tell her no.
right.
I tell she's an adult herself. She knows her goal.
Mhm.
And if sometimes, I just remind her, but then I don't tell her. Otherwise, she's like this,
Right.
She has, so it's like, okay, you have choice. And I
Right.
trust that she's making a choice. And whenever, it's more about feeding the good wolf or the good fox, like
Exactly.
whenever she's doing a great job, that's when you pat yourself on the back.
Mhm.
And it's not going to be perfect. And she would have those times too. And maybe sometimes she would tell me next day, hey, coach, after it's already done. And then, but like,
and in that regard, I don't mean to cut you off, but in that regard, it's like, okay, I know I shouldn't have done this, but I did it. But
yeah.
I also went and I'm doing my route, the workouts that you've given me, and I'm gonna do a little extra on the side, just because I feel guilty about what I did last night.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that things happen and we're not perfect. And I think the way I see it is more about your thought process on how you're evolving, how you're transforming on every single day. And if you care about it, you would own it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that happened. What can I do differently? Or am I okay with that? If you're okay with that, right?
Right.
Those are thoughts. So now, well, I wanted to just touch base quickly is because, like you do have two jobs and you have your wine gig and,
well, the wine gig's the second job, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. So
well, I wanted to share you guys is that she just really transformed from almost zero activities to, guess what? She's doing like keto.
Yep.
Swim, bike, some running, and definitely finish elliptical challenge.
Yep, that was fun.
And she's in the Key West without her husband, but she's so disciplined, so into it. She wanted so badly. I wanted to ask you, how are you able to do all these things and not lose your mind? I mean,
I didn't say I didn't lose my mind from time to time, but
a keto, elliptical, swim, bike, run. I mean, you just all around, you're very
so the thing that makes it easier for me is that with Chris not being home at the moment,
the husband,
his name is Chris, the husband is Chris. I can get up. We're actually 30 miles north of Key West. We're in Big Pine Key, where all the little tiny key deer are. So if you ever Google key deer, Big Pine Key, that's where I live.
Okay.
So we're 30 miles north of Key West, and I will set my alarm for like 4:30ish in the morning to get up to go swim at the college pool. It opens at 5.
Wow.
I try and get there by 5:45 at the very latest. And then I swim for about an hour or however long it takes me to complete whatever workout you've given me. And it's been running about 45 minutes to an hour now. And then I go to work. I work my 8 hours. I drive another 45 minutes to an hour back home. And then it's like, depending on what night it is, if it's Monday or Thursday night, like Coach says, I have a keto class, which is a martial arts / self-defense class, if you're not familiar with it. And then, so that's Mondays, it's like an hour and a half. Thursdays, it's an hour. Saturday mornings, it's an hour. And I literally come home from work on those nights, change my clothes, put on my workout clothes underneath my gi, my uniform, and go roll around on mats for, an hour and a half and do some self-defense moves and get thrown around and throw people around. And it's actually a lot of fun going for my first belt on that as well. So that's sort of like job 3. And then the wine business, for those that live in California, I don't know if coach, you've heard of the business before. It's called One Hope Wine. And it's basically I promote their wines and do in person and or virtual wine tastings. And you can host a wine tasting to donate to a local charity of your choosing. So that's my little side gig. I have focused on it in the last 4 weeks, but not as much as I have on my triathlon training, because I needed to kind of go all in on this as well. So that's my regular job, my Aikido, my triathlon training, and my wine business. Oh, and I'm maintaining that house by myself, but doing a really crappy job at it at the moment. So something gave, and it was the house. The house lost.
Give me like like maybe 1 or 2 tips. How are you managing all this? Alarm or like schedule?
Yeah, just alarm. I have my cell phone alarm. I have a cat. He likes to bop me on the nose, so he'll get me up when my alarm goes. When my alarm goes off, he'll either come and bop me on the nose, or he'll stand at the side of the bed and meow at me until I get up and get moving. Like, Mom, the shower water is not dripping. I need my shower water.
Oh my goodness.
No lie. And so then I get up, and sometimes he's really funny. He'll actually come and lay on the yoga mat upstairs behind the elliptical in the master bedroom and be like, all right, Mom, aren't you supposed to be working out now? And he actually did that to me one day, I think this past summer. I wasn't feeling the workout. I wasn't in the mood. Okay. And all of a sudden the cat just comes in and he just lies down on the yoga mat like, well, are you working out or not?
All right, like, so everyone, let's get a cat. Just kidding.
Get a cat, get a dog, get an animal that will keep you accountable. Yeah. So it just sort of cracked me up, and I took a picture and I sent it to my husband. I'm like, I wasn't gonna work out, and he just started laughing, and because the cat was literally behind the elliptical, reminding me that I needed to work out. So when I get myself into a good routine,
structure
it plays a huge part for me in accomplishing my goals, especially triathlon. So if I can get myself up and out the door by 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:15 every day, to go swim or whatever it is that I need to do, and then get home to shower before I have to drive 45 minutes to work, and then another 45 minutes home. The other thing I also want to mention is that pack your lunch is a big one.
Pack your lunch, yes.
Pack your lunch. You asked me about sodas earlier. I kind of didn't answer that. My husband's the soda. Yeah, I do. We have a water dispenser at work. So I try and fill up a cup of water a couple times a day at the water dispensary. I had stopped drinking sodas. My husband's the soda drinker, more or less, in the family. Actually, I think I just finished the last 3 sodas that were in the house from
12 years ago. I'm just kidding.
December. All right. When he was home last. And they're just the 12-ounce cans. Sure. And it was, I think I had 2 one day and 1 yesterday for lunch. And I have no more in the house. So, and I don't have any seltzers in the house at the moment either. Or the other thing that I also do is, if you don't want to spend the $7.99 on the grocery store salad, of the lovely salad that I showed you that I had for my dinner tonight, which I've done, it's like, oh, I need to go and get something for lunch today before I run into the office. And you buy this lovely $7.99 spinach salad equal to what I just created here at the house. Okay. And I have all the ingredients at the house, but I'm paying $7.99 because it's already prepackaged. Gotcha. And grab a seltzer or flavored water. I grab usually a Coach likes my lovely Chobani flip desserts.
Yes.
So I'll grab a Chobani flip yogurt as a dessert because that's my sweet. Don't really eat a lot of cookies or cakes anymore, or ice cream. That's not like I said to you, Coach, I've got, I think, 3 packages of cookies sitting in a gallon Ziploc bag on the top shelf of my pantry cupboard, and I could care less. Homemade chocolate chip cookies, that's a different story.
There you go. Well, let's go.
That's a lot of tips. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So basically, just to sum up what Melissa has said is that definitely a structured schedule has helped her. A cat who wake her up has helped her.
You have to get the cat.
Yeah, pack your lunch. Have something more. What I'm also hearing there is that she has more of like, okay, if something like if she couldn't pack lunch, she has a go-to. Like there's an immediate thing that she has already something planned. So that's my suggestion for you guys. And also basically building a habit, which is the structure. I think that's really big for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure sometimes it's hard in the beginning, but when you get it, you're winning, because
and they also tell you that it takes 21 days to form a habit.
Yep.
And you can either break the habit before the 21 days is up, or you can keep going. And I've decided I'm going to keep going. And for me, this has always been about a lifestyle change while going after a dream that I've had for a long time. And when you get tired of being fat, like me, then you're going to finally do something about it. And that's
I'm gonna.
No,
it's like I'm doing it now.
Exactly. And now it's okay.
Do it now. There's
now I'm doing it. So
it has to be today.
Right.
All right.
Love it. Yeah. What do you think made the biggest difference for you working together with Coach Shangrila and the rest of the team, our registered dietitian?
Well, just the fact that I've got the structure from Coach and the rest of the team, and the accountability. It's like Coach reminds me, hey, you're not sending me your food photos. Why aren't I not getting your food photos?
No, I miss them sometimes.
So it's like, oh, okay.
Or drinking your water.
I sent her the salad picture tonight before the phone call. So,
Good job.
and that also helps to keep me accountable, helps to keep me on track, and to be honest with myself and honest. And if you can't be honest with yourself, I mean, that to me, that's if you can't be honest with yourself about what it is, the damage that you're doing, because I don't understand why I'm not losing weight, honey. Really, I don't. And I'm working out all the time and we're eating better, but why am I not losing the weight? And it's like, oh, you got to put the wine glass down. Right. I was getting as many reps with a glass of wine as I was with, a cup of water, and the wine glasses were winning, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And just being able to verbalize it with my husband.
Yeah.
I don't want a glass of wine every night when I walk through the door. Yeah. Occasionally, I have walked it through the door the last 4 weeks. It's been a really crappy day.
Yeah.
And I go and get a glass of wine. And you know what? It's a glass of wine and then it gets put away. If I leave the bottle out, then the bottle gets drunk. If I find that I can put the glass of wine away or the bottle of wine away, it doesn't get drunk.
Got it. So, well, I wanted to ask you, Melissa, I mean, when we first start talking, it was like about 5 weeks ago. You've been there 4 weeks. If you're going to talk to the old Melissa 5 weeks ago, and, let's just say you're like thinking about like, okay, am I going to do something about it? Or I'm going to do it right now, get some help. Like, what would you tell that Melissa, the old Melissa then, now that you know who you are right now, what you're getting, how you're experiencing? And I'm asking you these questions because the old Melissa, could be there's several old Melissas out there in Ironman and beyond that
Yep.
your words would make a big difference. Just like how Kyle, and by the way, I'm just gonna post this one again. If you guys missed this Kyle's live training, Triathlete Saved My Life, put hashtag Kyle below, and we'll have our advisors in the group to help you guys out, get them access besides of what you're getting already. If you're being inspired by Melissa, but it's like a domino effect. Melissa got inspired by Kyle, and I'm talking right now, Melissa is just moving forward. She's unstoppable, this girl. She just lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks. And she said, like, coach, I got this. You know, she's still like, you know what, I want to get to, I'm not going to say the number, but you know, like she's getting the full Ironman. That's what we're training for that. But let's go back to the question. If the old Melissas, because there could be a lot other old Melissas out there that's still struggling, not feeling good about themselves, tired of being fat, but cannot do something about it. Okay. Or just like wanting to have a dream, but then something stopping them. Maybe it's not wine. Maybe it's just soda. Maybe it's just, you know, not getting support. Maybe it's just because I can't sign up for a race. There's no race, or I'm scared. So let's hear you out. What are you going to say to old Melissa?
First of all, congratulations. And I'm proud of you. You took the first step, and for me, that's what it was. I had to take that first step. And yes, my husband and I have one account. All major financial decisions are made together. And he's like, I really don't want to spend X amount of dollars on your training. And I said, well, you know what? This is important. This is important to me. And I said, I haven't done anything for myself in a very long time.
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years. Yes, I need a new bike. He wanted to take the money and use it for a new bike. Love him for that, you know? So it means he's on board. But you know what? I got to get the training down first before I can get the new bike, to make sure that
the bike,
hey, this is a lot of money. I get it. But, you know, at the same time, buying a bike and not having the proper training to go along with it,
hurt yourself.
It's like apples and oranges. You know, you need to, it's that old analogy, you need to learn to walk before you can run. And I need to learn proper training and proper techniques. Yes, I know I still haven't sent you my videos, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
But it's one of those things that I finally said, I've had enough. I need this for me. It's a short-term commitment, and that's how I explained it. Right now, let's start with 3 months. Let's see how I do. And if after 3 months, I don't see any results, or if it's, you know, we don't think it's worthwhile, it's a 3-month commitment. I don't have to continue. I'm continuing, by the way. He doesn't know this, but I'm continuing. There you go.
Yeah. We gotta get that.
So that's where it was for me. I had to take that first step. I had to say loud enough for him to finally hear, this is about me.
Your health.
Yeah. We've done a lot of things for him. Now this one's about me. And I need this because of the year that I had, losing my dad and my sister-in-law. And it's taking me a while to get over those losses. Especially since my dad was with us for his final Christmas. And sister-in-law was just totally unexpected. And so it was, in order for me to move forward, I had to do something for me. And one thing I think I did share with you and Vanetta was that at the December triathlon, I'm literally getting ready to cross the finish line, and they played Sweet Caroline. by Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond was my dad's favorite singer.
Oh,
It was my favorite song, and I literally stopped and
oh my God,
my eyes out before I crossed the finish line. And the person's like, "What is wrong?" I'm like, I was like, my dad. And, you know, it was like, so she very quietly, and I didn't realize it until after that, they said, "Okay, we need to change the song. I'm sorry." You know, and I crossed the finish line, but it was like I said to my brother who lost his wife, you know, I was thinking Dad and Ash were there with me that day. Now they're really there with me that day. And it was just like, it was, I still love that song, but I wasn't ready to hear it at that point in time. You can think that they're on your shoulders, giving you wings, protecting you during the race, protecting you during the swim, whatever you want to think. You can think they're in a better place. You can think they're up in heaven. I don't know what anybody's beliefs are, and not preaching about any of that, but they're my guardian angels.
Yeah.
And they were there with me that day, and I strongly believe that. And I know they were smiling as I crossed the finish line. And the Sweet Caroline song just kind of sealed the deal, even though I wasn't ready for it at that time. But when I hear it again at another race,
you're gonna be dancing.
I'm gonna be dancing across that finish line with a smile on my face.
There you go. Yeah.
Because I know they will be thrilled that I
absolutely finished.
So,
I mean, just right now, you're already winning even before the race. Yeah. You have won. You have regained back your health. Yeah. And I know your dad, your sister-in-law, your family, even your husband is very proud of you. Yes. I mean, you stood up for yourself.
Yep.
Your dad will be proud of you because you were able to communicate what your needs are for your health. And it's not, honestly, and I keep telling athletes, you know, the races are great because there's a date, there's a deadline. But if you think about it, that's actually kind of like a tool wherein you can refocus yourself in something a little bit more fun with the community in triathlon, while honestly it's more like taking your health, and you are actually taking your health. Yeah. So, you know, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you. And I know you have transformed big time. For just, I mean, it's been only 4 weeks, but we've been talking almost every day. I've known you so much, and Vinetta, the rest of the team, we are very proud of you. I know who here have been touched by the story of Melissa. Raise your hand, put hashtag value if you're getting a lot of value here. Hello, Corey. Corey just jumping in as well. We still got Justin, Scott still watching. So everyone, if you guys are getting a lot of value here, we've touched some sensitive but very, very special to Melissa's life. And she's been vulnerable, and she basically just like the effect of what she's done, or what Kyle has done, you know. Yeah. And actually she's just very happy where she's at, and she wants to share the positive vibe, the positive energy. You guys get,
I haven't been positive for a long time, and now I am, and it's you know, that's
it's huge.
You make a choice. You either can wallow in self-pity, or you can change it and have a positive mindset. And I decided that I was tired of wallowing in self-pity and changed my mindset.
Yeah. And she's going after it.
That's amazing.
I know you're excited about your full Ironman.
I am. And I have to register for that one. But yeah.
It's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. So everyone, that's what we do here in Feisty Fox Coaching. We help busy high achievers, these people who just want to go after their dreams. And we actually help out, just like if you guys want to jump in for a quick call, just like what Melissa has done or Kyle has done, you know, if you feel like something's bugging you, or like you just, how come I'm not acting on my goal? You know, And our goal, Vinetta and I, well, first of all, we're not going to sell anything on you on that one, because we want to make sure that you're ready. You're ready, because we're not going to drag you. You know, we're like, if Melissa wasn't ready, Melissa, I'll talk to you later when you're ready, because I'm not here to drag you, to help you out if you're not committed to yourself. But she was ready. Okay. So if you're the type of person like, Coach, I'm just lost about triathlon, I just do not know if this one is for me, you know, any like quick questions there. What our intentions is just to give you like the next big 3 steps that you can do right now, because on us, what we want is just to give, keep giving back to the community. And that's why we have this Ironman and Beyond. It's free. And we have a lot of training resources here. One of this one is just like to share you the story of Melissa. We have Kyle's story. We just we just talked about climbing hills last week.
On bike,
on a bike. And then we have that race strategy or nutrition. We have about swimming. So if there's anything that you're having a struggle, just go share to us, because we have our advisors here in the group who can help you out. Just, hey, give you like, where's the training resource? Because this is new. I'm sure you have not been in this kind of valuable, you know, like a group that's giving value without asking for anything in return. If you feel weird about it, this is not for you. But, you know, we're just giving free stuff here. So if you're enjoying this, you know, we do this one every week. We do our best to show up. And if you'd like to jump on a call, it's only 15 minutes. Just put #game plan, and I'd be very happy to help you out. And if there's anything else that you want to ask Melissa, she said she's open for autographs. Or guess what? Like I said, you know, this is what's great about our community. Like each one of us coming from different places. Like if I go to another place, I get to see one of you guys. I would love that. But this is the place wherein you can just hopefully meet like-minded people. Okay. So if you guys got value, put #value. Melissa, what are you excited about this year before we end this one? Is there anything also that you want to share or like tell last things to our athletes in Ironman and Beyond? Any top 3 things, advice that you can give them?
I guess the number one thing I would say is make the commitment to yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing that I had to do. Is I had to, like Coach said, I had to stand up for myself. I had to make the commitment to myself to get me past, you know, just drinking wine. You know, why can't I lose the weight if I'm working out? And, you know, make the connection, you know, make the commitment to yourself, make the connection. Mm-hmm. What is preventing you, even if you seem to be doing everything else correctly, but the scale only moves maybe this much, but then it goes back this much, but then it's going down this much, but then it goes up this much. Yeah. What's preventing you from going from here to here to here to here to here until you reach whatever goal you have in mind for yourself? The other thing I would say is find your support system. If it's not your husband, your significant other, your children, your family, whatever, find someone that believes in you. Like Coach and Vinetta believe in me. I'm starting to tell my family, you know, slowly but surely, hey, this is what I'm doing. They're like, okay. We've heard this before. Yeah, right, exactly. So what I can tell you is that when I sent the picture and the poster to my siblings today, I sent that. I sent it to there you go, high five. Sent that to my siblings, and my oldest brother loved an image, and he goes, very cool, congrats. I was like, okay. Yeah. My husband was like, yeah, nice. My daughter was like, awesome, Mom. So find your support system, whoever that may be. Could just be Coach and Vinetta for the time being. You never know. You could maybe it's your coworkers. Maybe it's somebody that you ran into at the pool.
Yeah.
Find that support system and lean on them until whomever you're with, family, spouse, significant other, child, whatever, you know, start seeing your changes, your transition, and then gets behind you to help you achieve those goals. And I'm extremely excited. My husband's coming home this weekend.
Awesome.
And like I said, I've been talking to him like, this is what I need. This is what I need. I'm not saying we're going to exercise every day as soon as I get off work, but if it's 20 minutes, can you do a 20-minute workout with me? And he's like, yes. Okay, awesome. Coach was just in my home state, Delaware.
Delaware.
I actually rode probably on some of those roads that you were on, like 141, 52, 202. I rode on all of those back in the day, with and without helmets. Don't recommend it now. I recommend helmets. Just find your people, find like-minded people, and have them be your support until your support system believes in you like you believe in you.
Those are big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially coming from you. If you guys could relate to Melissa and coming from her right now, she has that energy, that winning, feeling that she can share to you, like firsthand, first experience. I hope you guys got a lot from that, and really, really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate being asked.
Of course.
I was a little nervous. So
no, you did a great job. One of the things that I would just add there is that really pay attention to the good things that's happening to you, even the small things, because those small positive things are the things that's gonna help you move forward and to help you continue doing what you have already started doing. Yep. And because each day it's not gonna be perfect. It will, things happen. You're like frustrated again, annoyed. Things don't happen the way you want. But just like basically do your best to really, get some of those positive energy fired up just by you noticing the good things.
Right. Yep, I agree. All
right.
Bruce says, way to go, Melissa. Thank you for sharing your story.
Michael said great information. A lot of people have actually gotten a lot of value.
Oh, well,
everyone, till next time. Again, thank you again, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week. It's March. Bye.
Bye-bye.